Uh-oh.
This is my grading.
Is this the sound of a champion?
Yes, this is a champion.
That's what they sound like?
Badly behaved.
All right. He's also a good guard dog.
Yeah, well, he's really
Doesn't he
hard.
know
He's
to
having a
relax
hard
after a win like this?
Stop it. He's having a hard time adjusting.
Oh, okay.
He's been with a handler for 2 years. This is the first time he's been home in 2 years.
So yeah, this is definitely
he's
he doesn't even really know you then.
Well, he does, but he's really he's not his normal self.
Oh, he's not, okay.
No, and we have 4 dogs, so he's got his son at home, we've got his brother at home, we've got his uncle at home, so we have all these dogs in the house that he doesn't really remember. So
Of course. So it's been a tough one.
Frazier, get over here. Come here.
All right, let's see how he can calm it down.
Frazier.
Hi, buddy.
But the tail's wagging.
Yeah, that's right. Hello.
Pretty, isn't he?
Oh, he certainly is. He's beautiful.
Boy.
What a good boy you are. Yes, you are. He just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
Don't you? You just want to be loved.
Over here with Mommy.
Oh, it's okay. Come on.
Over
you
here
just
with
want me to
Mommy.
touch you. Okay, here.
Come over here, sweetheart. That's him last year at Westminster when he won, right there.
Okay.
He's had quite a career. He was the second to the best of breed.
Second to the best.
Yeah, so it's called Select.
Okay.
And what they did this year, unlike the other years they had a best of breed and they gave 3 awards of merit.
Yep.
This year they didn't do any awards of merit at all. They only did 1 Select, and he got the 1 Select. Now he's the number 1 mini in the country and the number 2 overall long-haired dachshund in the country. So he's come over here and see me. He's out of control.
It's okay. Is this considered a sport?
Oh, is it ever?
It is?
Oh yeah.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, it is. I mean, dog shows it's a sport. It's, it started for me it's sort of started as a lark almost. It started because I've had dachshunds all my life. I started with Smooth, and then my husband bought me my first long probably 35 years ago. So I've had longs ever since, and had the same breeder. I have 4 from the same breeder. And when I got him, she said to me, I want you to bring him back when he's a year old. And I didn't ask any questions. I just said, okay. And I brought him back when he was a year old, and I got out of the car, and she said to me, walk forward. And I said, okay. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. She said, bring him in and put him on the table. Brought him in, put him on the table. She said to me, I'll give you $10,000 for him right now. And I just looked at her and I said, I don't want to sell him. I said, he's my baby. He's my boy. She said, well, you have to breed him and you have to show him. And I knew nothing about either one. I mean,
Did you know that you were getting a show dog, though?
I did not know. And I didn't ask for a show dog. And in retrospect, I probably never should have, after what it's cost me.
Oh,
but
I
anyway,
imagine.
Oh my God. But anyway, no, I didn't know. But what I learned afterwards was that his father, had won the breed at Westminster that year, the year he was born. And I didn't know that, and she never told me that. So anyway, she wanted to buy him back, and I said, no, I'm not going to buy him. No, I'm not going to sell him to you. But by the time I got home, she had a handler call me to set up a meeting because she wanted me to start showing him right away. So I met the handler, and we started showing him 2 weeks later, and he got his championship in 4 weekends, which is pretty much unheard of. So I knew he had a good dog, and I didn't get along with the handler. She didn't like me, and I didn't like her. So but we kept showing him, but he never lived with her. He always lived with us, and I would just drop him off on weekends and stuff, and he'd go to the dog show, and then he'd come home. So finally, a bunch of dachshund people decided to have an intervention with me, and they called me and said, we want to talk to you. And there were about 8 of them, all dachshund breeders and handlers, and they said, you have a fabulous dog. Do you realize how good he is? And I said, no. And they said, he's about as good as we've ever seen for a mini long-haired dachshund. Minis, they come in mini and standard size, and they compete against one another. And they said, he's a fabulous dog. You need to get the best handler you can find, and you don't have it. And I said, yeah, you're right, I don't. So anyway, one of them knew a man named Aaron Wilkerson. Aaron had won Best in Show with the Beagle Uno in 2008. Everybody, that made national headlines. They went to the White House. They went.
Well, let me just ask you, how a best in handler? A handler to me looks like somebody just walking the dog.
Do you know what handlers earn?
No. What?
5 times what I earn.
No.
Oh yeah, a good handler.
You're a lawyer,
Yeah,
and they're making more money
but I
than
should.
you?
Oh, way more.
Why?
I should have been a handler.
Why?
A good handler can make $700,000-$800,000 a year.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Now that's not all of them.
Do they change breeds when they handle, or they're specific to the breed?
No. The good handlers are. I mean, there was a handler in the show yesterday who won best in breed with 7 different breeds, and to walk a dog around the ring in Westminster for a minute and a half is anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. That's what they charge. Oh, it's. I mean,
I had no idea.
oh yeah, it's crazy. Nobody can
Nobody
can
knows
believe.
that.
Everybody looks at me like I'm insane.
Well, what makes a good handler? Let's just.
Well, first of all, dog shows are very, very political. So, as I've told a lot of people, yeah, we have a good dog, but he's only half the equation. And the other half of the equation is who's on the other end of that lead. And you have to have a handler who's well known, who's been at it. Our handler started as a junior handler and he was 9 years old. He's 34 today. That's how long he's been doing this. And the good ones all came up through the junior handler ranks. And if they're good and they're well known and they've won, best in show, which is, really as far as you can go, then they charge a lot of money and they make a lot of money. And if you're going to campaign a dog, which is what we did with him, we campaigned him for 2 years. You don't get to be the number 1 dog in the country unless you're being campaigned, you're being shown every single weekend by a top handler. When I said goodbye to everybody yesterday, the first question everybody said is, "You're taking him home?" And I said, "Yes, he's retired." People were thrilled because competition's gone. And that's how they look at it. It's a wonderful sport, but it can be cutthroat. And
When you say the politics,
the
what
politics.
do you mean by that?
The judges, I can look. I've been in this long enough now. I can look at the catalog, and I can say, okay, this judge doesn't like minis. I'm going to pull him. I'm not even going to show him. I'm just going to have him marked absent because I'd rather have him absent than not win anything. And I know what judges like minis, and I know what judges like standards. I knew the judge that was at Westminster this year. Never saw Frazier before, but I felt like his partner had given him the breed every time he had seen him. And I thought, okay, his partner likes him. They've certainly had a conversation about it. He's the number 1 mini in the country. Even if he doesn't like minis, he's going to look at the rankings and he's going to think, okay, either I like this dog or I don't. But when they he picked the number 1 all over Long-Haired Dachshund as the best in breed, and he picked Frazier as number 2. That was safe because that's what the rankings say. That's what 2012 said. These are the 2 best dogs in the country.